This is the commentary that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing, not this verse, I'm going to be doing verses 76. I scroll down. Ooh, it's a lot. Okay, thank God I'm not doing all of this right now. I'm going to be doing 76. Can I get to you, please? Okay, so I'm going to be doing 76 and 77. So I think I'm just going to start with 76 and just go through this entire commentary and then go to 77, which is down here. So a little bit easier. And then I'm going to hop over to the Malinata version, which as you can see is a little bit more condensed. So it's definitely harder for me to read. But I am excited to be done. Oh, and it looks like for Malinata, the verse is actually 77, 78. So that's interesting. But yeah, so I'm going to work on that. So I don't really like to print this out because ink is so expensive. And unfortunately, we don't get free printing at Harvard. We have to pay for it. So I think I'm just going to write down the Nagari, which is the script, and work from there and try to figure out what exactly he's talking about in this commentary. So let's do it. Okay, so I have a decent amount done just for one of the commentaries for verse 76. And I don't see a lot of breakdowns of grammar in this. I see more of like a bunch of glosses and synonyms. So that's pretty simple. And then right now it's 11:30. So I think I'm gonna go eat lunch. And then I'm going to finish the Malinata, begin and finish the Malinata commentary for verse 76. And then I will work on the next commentary or take a break from Sanskrit and do my paper because I've been doing Sanskrit for like the last 5 hours or so. So this will be a nice break for me. So I'm just making some of my meals. As you can see, I'm making this pasta that actually was made like a day ago, but I decided that I was going to save it so that today I could just kind of microwave things. So yes, I unfortunately do microwave. I prefer that I don't, but it's not feasible for me to make fresh meals all the time and go out to eat because Cambridge is really expensive. So I'm just gonna microwave this and then I'm going to eat lunch. And when I eat lunch by myself, I watch Impractical Jokers because it's just fluffy and it's silly and I just really like the silliness. I don't get a lot of silliness at Harvard, even though I try to crack jokes whenever I can in a class. It doesn't always go well. So yeah, I'm still like really sick. I'm not feeling very good. I'm not so much tired as just like stuffy. And I just feel disgusting and I have a headache. And I just feel like I'm sick of taking medicine and I'm sick of taking echinacea and drinking warm drinks and sleeping. And it's too cold outside to really like walk outside. So I don't want to go out, but hopefully this sickness will go away sooner rather than later. I'm hoping by tomorrow because I have a Latin reception since we finished our Latin class and we submitted the final. I get to go to this reception, which is fully, I don't know if it's catered, but the food is covered. So I really want to go to that, but I don't know if I can go if I'm sick. There's the dilemma there. So hopefully by tomorrow I'll feel better. I just have to keep staying on top of my work and taking breaks and making sure that I'm taking care of myself in the process. But I can't really get behind on my work. That's the thing. I feel like taking care of myself and preparing for finals are just incompatible with one another. So I'm really trying to find some balanced middle ground here. And I'll let you know how that goes. So I don't like eating pasta at night. I prefer to eat it during the day because I feel like my digestion is better around like 12, 1 o'clock. And pasta is really heavy. Whenever I eat it at night, I get really gross. I just feel incredibly full and like sluggish. And I already feel like that because I'm sick. So that's definitely not something I need more of. But this is my pasta. I think it looks pretty good. It's a pesto and there are cherry tomatoes in it. I'm not a big fan of tomatoes in terms of how they make me feel because they can upset acid reflux, but they do have a lot of vitamin K, and in general, I think that's something I need more of. I've also been eating fish. I am a pescatarian, so I don't eat meat, but I occasionally eat salmon, like fatty fish, and sometimes cod. And I eat fatty fish for the vitamin D and the omegas because it's hard to get that with nuts, and eating nuts sometimes aggravates acid reflux as well. So eating is not an easy thing when you are primarily Vata dosha in Ayurveda and when you're very sensitive to foods. It's difficult. I just have to show you this. This is my water bottle that I'm obsessed with. We got it during orientation at Harvard Divinity School on like one of the first days. And it's a Swell water bottle, and this is not endorsed by Swell by any means, but this keeps my drinks as cold as possible throughout the day. And I really like how easy it is to clean. And I don't find that like when I drop it, it gets dinged too much, but I think it has a little bit. Anyway, like everybody at Harvard Divinity School has these water bottles, but they are the best, quite honestly.
Why have you phone up? I just have someone was calling. Why is that funny? Why is that funny? Someone was calling and now it says I'm not. Oh.
So it's after lunch. It usually takes me around like 10-15 minutes to eat lunch. Now I'm going to make another latte. And the great thing is my fiance and I got this latte maker for Black Friday, and it's pretty awesome. It was like, I think like $50 off, but it has saved, I feel like, a lot of money already just from making lattes. So I tend to get tired at this time of day. The best thing would be to take a nap. However, first of all, I don't feel tired. And secondly, I have a lot of work I want to do. I really want to get done this paper by this week and do the Sanskrit stuff. So I really try to stay on task, and coffee helps me to do that. I'm not as sensitive to caffeine when I drink a latte as I am to regular coffee for some reason. But whenever I get really sensitive, like my heart hurt, my chest hurts, or I get acid reflux, that's when I usually take like a day or two off. And then I often will have like a low acid coffee or tea. I just ground these up last night. Okay, don't spill. Don't spill. Okay, looks good. I really like using the Intelligentsia coffee. I just find that it's like really makes a nice latte. It's not too strong, but it's not too weak. So that's nice. All right. Put this in, and then I just wait for it to turn green, and once the ready sign is green, that's when I can go ahead and start the latte. Oh, I just did it. So as I make my latte, some of you may be wondering what I'm studying at Harvard, and at the Divinity School at Harvard, there are 2 tracks. One is a 3-year program called the Master of Divinity, and that one requires field work. So you actually have to do like an externship in the community or in the summertime where you're from that focuses on religion in the world. And then the second area of study that you can focus on for your degree is called the Master of Theological Studies. And that particular degree program is 2 years, and it's primarily meant for people that are interested in getting a PhD. So I'm actually doing the latter program. I'm doing the Master of Theological Studies, and then within that, I choose an area of focus of study. So you can choose things like Christianity or Judaism or Buddhism or philosophy of religion, and I am choosing comparative religions because that's ultimately what I would like to do, and I've done a little bit of work with interreligious dialogue before, but I'm really interested in Hinduism and Catholicism and contemplative practices like yoga, like Hindu Tantra, and Benedictine and Carthusian types of prayer, like Lectio Divina, for example, and kind of comparing those and contrasting them in those particular religious experiences. So a big part of my program will probably involve not only language study, which I'm doing now, but also phenomenology, which is how religions are experienced by people, as well as the philosophy of religion. And there is my latte. I don't know what design you would call this. Kind of just reminds me of like some type of swirly cosmological thing with bubbles. Honestly, I'm just so tired. My head hurts and my sinuses hurt. It's 1:40. And this is usually the time of day where my energy just like plummets, and it's very challenging for me to like muster up energy no matter whether I had the latte or not. So basically I worked on both commentaries, including the Malinata commentary for the first verse, and I haven't done yet the commentaries for the second verse that I have to present on Monday. So I'm hoping tonight, since that's not as like energy draining as revising a 20-page paper down to 10 pages, I think tonight I'm going to focus on that commentary and hopefully get it done today, but my expectations are kind of low for me today. So I really hate to show this, but this is often what my hair looks like when I'm studying. I really just don't care what I look like most of the time. I'm just so exhausted. So it's around 3:30. I did finish the Sanskrit commentaries. I basically have been working on that from 7 a.m. until now. So that's basically around 8.5 hours, but I feel like I'm in a really good place for the final, and I have a list of things that I want to talk about in my presentation. So this weekend, I'm going to work on crafting the presentation and then actually practicing it. And I probably won't do any work on Friday because on Friday I have another Sanskrit online Zoom session that's free, donation-based really, and that's something that I would like to attend just to practice my skills. So now I've been dreading this. I've kind of been procrastinating. As you can see, my form of procrastination is basically doing work that I want to do and that I have energy to do, and then putting off aside work that requires more energy. So I've kind of put this to the side, but it's only 3:30, which is a good amount of time for me to look at my final theories and methods paper and start to revise it. That there is someone outside like doing yard work right now, and that's very distracting to me. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to do anything, but it just means that I have an additional thing to focus on. I do have earplugs. I'm a highly sensitive person. I'm really sensitive to sound more than anything. So when I sleep, I often have to wear earplugs, and when I study, I have to wear earplugs, and I also have to take exams in a private, quiet test-taking environment because I get really anxious taking exams anyway. And then I get really distracted by the people and the noises around me. So that's just one of, I guess, the challenges of being highly sensitive. But I think there's definitely a benefit to it because I can hear sounds that a lot of people can't hear, and I can hear what people say even when they're really far away. But I find that the challenges are more than the benefits. So I'm not sure if anybody else finds this challenging, but I definitely do as someone who's more highly sensitive. And what did I have for dinner that I said I would not have? Pasta. So I obviously made a bit of a mistake, but sometimes you just gotta go for the comfort food. You know what I mean? Hi. So I'm in bed now. I'm just really tired. Like I've been saying kind of throughout this entire vlog, but I still have about 6 pages left to kind of go through all that again, but I feel like I'm in a good place, and I'm hoping that tomorrow and Thursday I can be really strong. Today was like a very leisurely day for me, and I'm not too happy with the amount of work I did, but I know that I have to take care of my body, My body's really talking to me. Anyway, have a good night. See you in the next video.